Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly edition of Show Me How It's Done. My name is Lauren Rabonis and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So it is currently January 2024 and I am very excited to show you guys another project that features one of our free Celebration items. So if you're not familiar with Celebration, during January and February of this year, whenever you place an order, whether that's online or through your demonstrator, there's a selection of items that you can receive for free. So here in Canada, if you spend $60 or $120, we have a fun little pamphlet that is full of freebies that you can receive for free. If you're elsewhere in the world, then make sure to contact your demonstrator and they can guide you through what your minimums are. The selection should be the same. But of course, as we near February or the end of February, these items are while supplies last, so some items may start running out, and that will vary according to where you live. All right, so for today, what I wanted to show you is one of our free items that you can receive with a $60 purchase. This is called the Sunny Days Designer Series paper, and it does coordinate with one of the bundles in our catalog. It's called the Bright Skies Bundle. So you can always look for these little markers that tell you what it coordinates with. And so for that to tie in, the little clouds will be cut out with some of those dies. And of course, some of the other themes might tie together too. But today I'm combining it with something completely different. I'm using some of our new little opaque faceted gems for embellishment and some fun little butterflies. So these butterflies can be found in our new mini catalog. They come in a package of 40 butterflies. So there's 8 sheets of these and they're all pre-die cut, which is probably my favorite thing about them. It's always tricky to get those fine details out when you're die cutting, and it can be done, but it takes time. So for me, this is well worth the purchase. You can find this on page 23 of our new January to April catalog. And these are the paper butterfly accents right here. So pardon my numbers written on the side. I have done the math for what it would cost to purchase these items with shipping, shared shipping, and GST for us here in Alberta, so that when I plan my classes, which this one specifically I will be doing, I believe in March. Yes, in March, I'm going to do a mega class with this entire suite. And if you want, I can ship those anywhere in Canada, so watch for details or message me. But I like to just write those amounts in there so I know. So please don't let that confuse you. If you are in a different province, then of course that will change depending on your tax rates, but that's why they're there. So these guys are very easy to purchase. You can grab them with the Perennial Lavender Suite or on their own, and that's what we're going to do today. Is I've just chosen to use one of these on their own, and I'm going to add it to a really fun card. Now this kind of card fold I have been seeing pop up all over the place, and I was very intrigued. I love how it kind of opens up and shows you the cardstock and underneath, and then some designer paper on both sides. So I wanted to figure out how to do it. So that's where our card's coming from today. I'm going to walk you through the card with all the measurements and supplies, but of course they are also listed in the description on this video, so you can always click pause and go grab those and come back to us. Okay, so I have the Sunny Days paper out because I thought you might want to see it. There's lots of potential, lots of fun little patterns in there, and then the back side is a lot softer. You've got some softer tones, so very easy to kind of work into whatever project you're doing. There we go. So I'm going to put this to the side and we're going to get going. I like to start with the inside of my card. So I'm going to work with a card base of Poppy Parade. That is one of the colors that shows up in this card package. If you don't have Poppy Parade, then any sort of red tone, like real red, even going deeper like Cherry Cobbler, is totally fine. Or you could pull out some of the pool party shades from here too. So it's completely up to you. But you will need a card base, and let me just ask my camera, there we go, to refocus a little bit. We're going to cut this at 5.5 by 8.5, and put one score mark down the middle at 4 1/4. So that's just so your card can fold in half perfectly to make a nice open and close card. This is a standard size. On the inside, I always like to have something to write on, so I've cut myself a piece of basic white. This is going to be 4 by 5 1/4, and I will attach that just with a flat adhesive, so seal, tape, glue, whatever your preference is. You're going to attach that just to the inside of the card. Always want to make sure to decorate the insides so that we're ready for addressing them to somebody. Here we go. Should fit right in. Oh, move over a little bit. There we go. I always put it down and then I wait to press really hard until I'm happy with how it looks. There we go. Okay, next I wanted to decorate. So I picked a little scrap paper from the pattern that I chose for the front of my card. And of course, there's so many patterns in that package. You could choose any of them, really. So it's completely up to you, but this was just a leftover scrap. So it is 1 inch by 4 inches, but depending on what you have left over, it might end up being 3/4 of an inch or even 1/2 inch. Anything you have is fine. So this one is 1 inch by 4, and I'm going to put that in and add it to the bottom of my little inside panel. Just kind of makes this look fun. There we go. So the inside of our card is all finished. You can come back later and decorate. You could even add stamps in there if you want. But for now, we're going to focus on the front. So I'm going to give it a nice little burnish so it lies flat. And I'm going to bring this back just to kind of remind you of what we're working on. So I'm not going to attach pieces to my base at the moment. I'm going to cut and do a little bit of stamping and some cutting on the side. So your base can actually get moved out of your way. It will come back later. Okay, so we're going to start by cutting yourself another piece of basic white. This is also going to be 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to be in the back of our project. So keep this one, but keep it to the side again, because I'd like us to do our cutting on our designer series paper first, and then it will be easy to add our stamping to that. Okay, so put that to the top. You don't need it at the moment. Now we need a piece of designer paper. So ignore this cut. I did have it pre-done just to have it available to you guys, but I'll show you exactly how we do it. So this designer series piece of paper is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I'll say that again. It's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that is simply because I wanted just a teeny tiny white border around. If you're somebody who likes to work with the even quarters, go ahead and trim it down a little further. But I figured because I'm showing so much of my white through here, I didn't need it showing through around the entire perimeter. So this is ready to go. You're going to need to grab a trimmer, something that's easy for you to see a measured line on, or a ruler if that's the case. But I'm going to grab my Stampin' Trimmer because we can do this right on there. So, sorry, I'm beeping. I'm going to make sure, usually if it's the school, it will, there we go. If it's the school, they'll call, but I like to check. Okay, are we ready? So we're going to turn our paper so the long side, the horizontal side, is going to be resting along the top here, and you're going to put your paper right on the 2 9/16. So that's going to be fun to count. Let me grab my pokey tool. If you've got the trimmer, 1 2 3 4 is 1/4, 5 6 7 8 is 2 1/2, 9 is just off that. Okay, so again, if I was to have trimmed it down a little nicer, these measurements might be easier, but I really, really like how that tiny border looks. So 2 1 or 9/16. This is what you want to line your paper up to, okay? So find 2.5 and go 1 tick mark past. That's 2 and 9/16. Okay. Now we're going to use the trimmer because what I love about it is there is a ruler along the side here. Okay, so this is important. If you don't have the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, you will want to grab a ruler and do this measurement, put a little like pencil mark there, and then cut down to it. But if you've got the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, we're going to take our blade and cut down from the top all the way to 1 3/4. Okay, so right here, that's where we're trimming down to. I like to just go nice and slow, make sure I'm kind of on the right track. There we go. What you'll notice is there is a little tick mark on the side of your trimmer, this line, that shows you exactly where the blade cuts to. So you're going to move this down and you're going to line your blade up to 1 3/4. It doesn't matter that this gray part has gone past. There's no blade under this area. The blade is right in the middle. So this tick mark on the side here is going to say exactly where you want to be, and that's 1 3/4. So again, if you didn't have this guy, you'll want to just take a ruler and probably make a little mark, move it to 1 3/4, put a pencil line, and then use your own trimmer to cut down to that mark. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of folding. So you do need to have a bone folder. That will make your life a lot easier. And we're going to take, doesn't matter which one, the top or the bottom, take one of these and fold it backwards to make kind of a little triangle. So wherever this bottom piece ends up folding in half is kind of where you want to be. So, sorry, I'm going to move this way. It's easier for me to push this. I'm going to move this and press so that I've got that nice fold line right here, making that corner piece fold in half and the rest of this fold down. We will end up putting a little piece of tape under this just to kind of keep the flap down, but let's worry about this one next. And sorry, again, it is just much easier for me to pull this towards myself because I can stick a nail in here and have that fold in half. And you want these kind of as symmetrical as they can be. So if you have to shuffle something forward or backward, go ahead, but as symmetrical as they can be. Another fun thought right now is if you're somebody who likes like Hawaiian shirt cards, this could almost be one of those cards. If you kind of kept it horizontal, you could make like a little tie or add 3 little buttons and you would have a perfect little shirt card. But we're going to turn this because we're going to get funky and mount it onto this white piece. Now, if you're somebody who's worried about making a mistake while you're stamping, then you might decide not to attach this right now. You might just set it in place, do your stamping, and then come back and attach it. So I will show you that method because if I made a mistake right now, it would be quite easy for me to turn the white over and replace it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get these tabs stuck down just so they're out of my way. Putting a little piece of tape on the back of those. A dot of glue would have worked as well. There we go. Whee. There we go. So I will not attach this at the moment. I'm going to move to my stamping, and that's just because if I make a mistake right now, it's super easy to fix. So the stamp that I chose to use is the Heartfelt Hexagon stamp. It says, "I hope your day is filled with joy." So I grabbed that sentiment and one little flower from this set, and this is from our new January to April mini catalog. So my sentiment, I'm going to do an early espresso, a nice dark gray. You can use black, you could use basic gray if you need to as well. But we're going to put this right in this open space. There we go. Nice, beautiful sentiment. And then I thought it looked a little plain, so I wanted to add a flower to tie it in. So I'm using real red. I know I'm using a different red for my card base, but I thought the real red looked a lot more potent and nice. So sorry, you're gonna get my head in here. There we go. Nice little flower on top. There you are. And I will add my embellishments once the card is on and ready to go. So I didn't make a mistake, which is great. So I can take this off and add my adhesive, and we'll get this mounted up. It looks like a K. Okay. These take your pick tools are great. You can just stick the pokey end kind of under your tape and pull up. I used to never need them, and then I fell in love with some of these fun gel nails, and I've needed it ever since. So glad we have it. There we go. Okay, here is where we need to line up the top and the left side and the bottom with kind of just a teeny tiny border. You're not going to have much, but I'm quite happy with that. And I'm going to pop this piece now up on dimensionals. You don't have to, but I do find that it adds kind of a nice bit of character to the card if it's popped out. There we go. Get it nice and supported. Perfect, and hopefully your base hasn't gone too far away. So we're going to bring that back, make sure it's opening the right way. You don't want to put this on while it's upside down. So confirm it's opening the right way, and then go ahead and add this. Right to the front. Okay, I'll bring in my sample now. Here we go. We're going to do a little bit of decor. So I have cut a piece of the designer series paper, that Sunny Days paper, with my stylish shapes. I don't know if you can see the little etching on there. They're hiding, but this was the second largest of those. And then I made a mistake, and I think this is a retired circle decal, but it can easily be subbed out for, we have the Deckled circles dies with kind of a rough edge. So go ahead and use that, or if you do own these older scalloped circles, you can use those as well. I think sometimes we have scalloped circles showing up in different sets now, but I will admit I forgot and designed this card with something that I don't think is available right now. So just swap it out for the Deckled circles. We're going to put adhesive, flat adhesive on the back of your designer paper, and then dimensionals on the back of your early espresso circle. All I wanted was just a teeny tiny border, so that should be good. I'm going to put dimensionals back there. Whoop, throwing things all over my desk. There we go. I'm trying to use up a bunch of extra dimensionals that I have lying around just in partial packages, so I'm using lots of scraps right now. Okay, this guy just goes right over that kind of intersection of your triangles, almost in the middle of your card. Just make sure it's not covering up any of your words. And then last but not least, we're going to add a little butterfly. So this butterfly can be facing either way, doesn't matter. But to attach it, I really did want dimensionals, and so I had to get tiny right now. I'm going to use some of my mini dimensionals, but I'm actually going to cut them in half so that I can fit them in some of these little crevices. So of course, if you don't want to do that, you can just use a little glue and make the butterfly kind of stay down on the card. But I don't know where my scissors are. They always run away. I feel like I use them and then I put them down. So we'll grab a new pair. So I have no idea where those are. Okay, here we go. Cutting a few of these in half. So I have some nice little embellishment or some dimensionals. You don't need many, just a few to kind of hold up the butterfly. And they'll fit just in these large sections of the wings and body. There. Wait, I'm turning this off. Okay. There we go. Putting that on my little circle. And then last but not least, I do have those nice opaque faceted gems. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the other side of my take your pick tool. So this side has a little putty kind of point. And so it's really easy for you. You just put it down and a gem and pull to the side. It will, usually, there we go. It'll lift that up for you. And you don't have to try and get your nails around it. So there we go. I did a large and a small, and you could add more if you want, but I'm kind of just using the flower as my other access point, because usually we don't do things in just even numbers. But there we go. There is today's card. I hope you guys enjoy it, and please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate your support. I will see you next Tuesday for another edition of Show Me How It's Done. And if you're here in Canada, please check out my Facebook page, Lauren Scrapplot, for events that I have going on. And you can always shop online at laurenurbonus.stampidup.net, and you will get a free card kit with orders over $35, as well as some freebies if your order is over 100 or 200. So I hope you guys have fun with today's video. Enjoy recreating it, and if you do turn this sideways and make that little shirt card, I'd love to see a photo of how it turns out. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.